Okay, good morning, students. So in the previous classes, we have seen simple problems for estimation, which we have done, two of them, wherein one was a single room. The first example was a single room, and your second example was a double room, but it had the same wall thicknesses everywhere and the same foundation. And third example that we looked into was also a double room building, wherein we had two different walls of 30 centimeter thickness and 20 centimeter thickness, and it had two different foundations. So all of those were also load bearing structure, and today we will be looking into this single room residential building, which is also a residential, which is also a load bearing structure. Okay, so this is not a framed structure, this is a load bearing structure. So this is a single room residential building. I will just show you the plan. This is the plan. You can see it has a single bedroom, right? So it is a single room residential building. It has a bedroom, it has a living room, right? It has this veranda over here, right? This is your entrance, right? This is your entrance from your veranda, wherein you can enter into your living room, and then you can enter into your bedroom. And then you have your rear veranda over here. You have a kitchen at your northwest. Then this is the northeast. You have your water closet and you have a bath. Okay. So this is just an overview of your plan. This is your front elevation. This is your front part of your plan, and this is your rear side. Okay, so this is your entrance. Okay, so and looking through the details that they have given. So dimensions of a residential building is shown in the figure 1.1, which we have seen the plan that they have given. Then it has a foundation concrete. Right, this is your foundation concrete. Okay, foundation concrete, bed concrete of width 0.8 and depth of 0.2, right, that they have mentioned here. Then foundation size stone masonry foundation. Voice is low, meaning my volume is low. Is everyone facing the same issue?
Yes, sir.
Manju is facing Chidanand. Is it fine now? Is it fine now? Okay, okay, it is fine. Is it fine, Mallikarjun and Aishwarya Kurli? Yes, it is fine now, or is it still low? Just let me know. Okay, what about now? What about now? What about now? It is still low, still very low. Voice is still low. Now it is okay. Is it okay? Others, just let me know. Okay, okay. So we will continue. Okay, so let me continue. So foundation in size stone masonry. Let me just show you the foundation in size stone masonry. This is the foundation in size stone masonry, this part, right? So it is made up of size stone masonry in cement mortar 1:6. Width is 0.5 and your depth from ground level to your PCC bed concrete top level is 0.8. Okay, and above ground level, this is your basement level, which you call, right, from your ground level to your plinth level. This is your plinth level, this is your ground level. So from ground level to your plinth level, it is 0.4 meter in width, and your height, you can see it is 0.55. So it is not entirely 0.55. You have to reduce this DPC work, or your DPC work, that is of 0.15, right, 0.15 meter. So you have to reduce that, and it will give you your height. So it will become 0.4 in meter in height and 0.4 meter in width. So this is from ground level to your plinth level. Then you have this DPC of 15 centimeter, right, DPC, which is given here, of 15 centimeter. Okay, so foundation I have told you. So the overall depth will be 0.8, right? Overall depth will be 0.8 and width is 0.5. I have shown you. Then basement I have shown you, that is this from ground level to your plinth level. I've told you that is your basement. So that is 0.4, and this is not 0.15, this is 0.4, right? I've told you 0.55 minus 0.15, so that is 0.4. This is not 0.15. Next, plinth concrete DPC plinth concrete, I've told you. Width is 0.4. I've shown you. This is your DPC dam proof course. So it is 0.4 meter in width, and the thickness is 15 centimeters or 0.15. Okay. Next, external walls. External walls are 30 centimeter and partition walls are 20 centimeter thick. Let me just show you what do I mean by external walls. These are my external walls. You can see the entire periphery of my building is made up of 30 centimeter wall. You can see the thickness. You can notice the thickness, it is more. Okay, so it is 30 centimeter wall. External walls are all 30 centimeter and no internal walls are 30 centimeter. You can see the thickness of all these internal walls are lesser compared to your external wall. So all of these are partition walls and the thickness of these partition walls here is 20 centimeter. You can see all of these are internal walls are partition walls which are 20 centimeter in thickness. Okay, and all the external walls which are going through my building periphery is 30 centimeter in thickness. Okay, so that is what they have shown here. This is section AB. Here they have taken a section AB over here and they have shown it over here. Okay, so this section AB you can see is 30 centimeter thick because it is of the section is of my external wall, right? So it is cutting through this window also. So this window can be seen, your shajja can be seen. Okay, shajja can be seen. Your floor to floor height is seen to be 3.5 meters. Okay, 3.5 meters. And your RCC roof you can see it is 10 centimeter thickness. Okay, RCC roof is 10 centimeter thick. Then your this is your weatherproof course. Okay, WPC weatherproof course which you apply over your roof. Okay, so the average thickness of this is 10 centimeters average thickness because you can see it is a sloping one, right? So that your rainwater which falls on your roof can drain out sideways. So it is given in a slope fashion. So it is the average thickness of this weatherproof course is taken as 10 centimeters. And you can see you have a parapet wall. You have a parapet wall over here above your roof. So it is 0.75 meters in height, right? 0.75 meters in height and 0.1 meters in thickness, 0.1 meter in thickness. So this is your parapet wall. This is a 30 centimeter thickness external wall. And you can see this RCC chhajja you have, RCC chhajja you have. So this is your lintel. Just let me just zoom in. Okay, so this is your RCC chhajja, the RCC chhajja, this part is your RCC chhajja, this is your lintel. Okay, this part is your lintel and lintel thickness is 0.15. And what you can see, this RCC chhajja is tapered, right? It is tapered, it is not having the same thickness. So it is tapered and this thickness at the end, at this part, your end thickness, it is 0.1, assumed to be 0.1. So from 0.15, it is going tapered and getting thickness of 0.1 at the end. So that is average thickness we have to take later on while we calculate the quantity of this RCC chhajja. Okay, and how much projection it is, how much projection it is 0.6 meters. It is projecting 0.6 meters outside from your wall. Okay, so this is your RCC chhajja. And let us just look into the lintel. You can see lintel is provided all around, meaning the lintels are not only provided above your walls and your doors, but it is running overall. It is running overall your 30 centimeter wall, right? External wall, what is your 30 centimeter wall? It is running throughout, right? It is all around lintel, not only above your windows, doors and ventilators, but it is going continuously over your 30 centimeter wall. So that is what is meant by an all around lintel. Then I've told you height of the roof from plinth is 3.5 meters, right? Floor to floor height. Then your RCC roof I've told you is 10 centimeter thick, and I have explained you the RCC chhajja. So it is projected 0.6 meter outside the wall. So coming to flooring, mosaic tiling is done for your flooring, right? So that is done. Then parapet wall I've explained you, height is 0.75 and 10 centimeter in thickness. Okay, and it is constructed over RCC roof. Next, 10 centimeter average thickness waterproof course. I've told you WPC we have provided 10 centimeter average thickness above your roof. So what we have to do in this numerical is we have to work out the various quantities of item of work and prepare an abstract estimate cost of the building using prevailing rates in your locality. So what we have to do first is we have to find all the quantities of the items of works. Okay, what we have done in the previous examples, we have worked out the quantities but not all the quantities. but in this example we will work out all the quantities of item of works. Okay, and after we do that, the second part of my detailed estimate will be to prepare an abstract of the estimate and to get the cost of the building. Okay, so what rates we will be using is the rates in our locality we will be using. Okay, so that is what is the problem statement. And then coming to your schedule of openings. Okay, let us just look into the schedule of openings. So we have doors D and D1. Okay, we have two types of doors. We have D and we have D1. So let me just zoom out. So you can see that we have two types of doors, D and D1, which is mentioned in the schedule of opening. So let us just look where these doors D are. So D is here, door D is here, one is here, and one more is here. Here you have, and at the back side you have one door. So all of these are D doors. Okay, so which have a size of 0.9 meter in width and 2.1 meter in height. Okay, and coming to doors D1, you can see they are two in number. Over here they are provided D1 and D1. You can see two number of D1 doors are provided, and they are smaller in size compared to your door D. Okay, so they are 0.75 meter in width and 2 meter in height. So they are provided to your water closet and your bath. Okay, so two number in door in D1, and let us count the number of doors in D. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, 7 number of doors D. Then coming to your window W, let us just count how many windows are there. So it is one over here, two, three, then four, five. Okay, five number of windows W, which is 1 meter in width and 2.1 meter in height. And the ventilator, we can see they are 1, 2, and 3 in number over here. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 in number, and the size is 0.9 meters into 0.6 meters. Okay, 0.9 meters in width and 0.6 meter in height. So this is about your details of your plan. So first and foremost thing is they have not mentioned which method to use for calculating the quantities. They have not mentioned the method which we have to use, whether we have to use center line or whether we have to use long wall short wall method. So what we will do is, since it is not mentioned, we will go by center line method. We will solve this numerical by using center line method. So the first thing that we do in calculating your quantities is using center line method is to find the center to center of the walls. Okay, to find the center to center length of the wall. So that is the first thing that we have to do. So since we have two types of walls, that is we have 30 centimeter wall, that is your external walls, and your 20 centimeter partition walls. We have to calculate separately for both of them. We have to calculate separately for both of them. So in this I have shown you here you can see I have calculated your width of your plan, right? So it is from this center point of this wall to the centroid of this wall. Okay, so it is center to center distance of the length. Okay, so let us just calculate how it will be. So this the wall is 30 centimeter in thickness, right? So this is 30 centimeter in thickness, so it will be half of it. So it will be 0.5, right? 0.5. Let me just draw. So this thickness is 0.5, and next in kitchen length. What is the length of this kitchen? So it is 1.8. So 1.8 plus 1.8 plus this wall thickness, right? Plus this wall thickness, it is 20 centimeters. So it is plus 0.2, and this rear veranda in right up till here. So it will be 2.5 plus this wall thickness, right? Plus this wall thickness, which is 0.2 plus 0.2 and plus 1.5 plus 1.5 plus half of this wall thickness. So it is half of wall thickness, meaning it is plus 0.15. So adding 0.15 plus 1.8 plus 0.2 plus 2.5 plus 0.2 plus 1.5 plus 0.15, we get the center to center length as 6.5. Okay, we'll get it as 6.5. So that is what we have we have shown in the first step. And what we will name it as, we will name it as L1. Okay, so we will name it as L1. So it is 6.5 meters. Okay, 6.5 meters. Coming to L2. Okay, coming to L2. Calculation of this 8.7. Okay, let me just zoom out. You can also look in your plan which you have drawn, right? So coming from the top, I'll come from the top. So it will be 0.15, right? It is half of this wall thickness, that is 0.15. 0.15. This I have considered. Then into in distance of this kitchen, that is 2.3. Then this wall thickness 0.2 plus your living room width, that is 5.2, and plus 0.3. So what will happen is we will get the distance only till here. So what we have to do, we have to not consider this living room, but we will consider it from here, so that we get our uh, uh, distance till here. That is, we need it till the end of this plan. Okay, not till this end of your living room, but we need it till the end of our veranda. So what I'll do is I'll continue it from here. So 0.2 meters, that is your wall thickness we have considered. Then this 2.3 meters, that is your internal rear veranda length. Then this is 0.15. So I will continue from here. So it is bedroom into in distance 3.6. I have to add then your wall thickness, that is 0.2, right? Then veranda length is 2.1. Then half of my wall thickness. So I will get, after adding all of these lengths from here to here, from here to here, so I will get the center to center length as 8.7. Okay, 8.7. So that is what is your second step, and that we name it as L2. Okay, small L2. Okay, so remember this, how we have calculated. We have to now use all the thicknesses of the window doors of the walls and the partition walls, and the internal into in distances of the rooms. So do not calculate it till here, but we have to calculate it till here. Okay, so do not do that mistake in exam. So your wall thickness, it should be considered till here and not till here. So center to center distance should be not here but till here. Okay, so we have calculated this 8.7 and we have named it as L2. So this is your L1 and this is your L2, remember. Okay, so total centerline length CL, total centerline length will be 2 times your 6.5 and 2 times plus 2 times your 8.7. So that is what they have done here. So it will be 30.4. So what we have done is 30 centimeter wall is your external wall, right? 30 centimeter wall is my external wall here. I'm just running my cursor over it. So this is my 30 centimeter wall, which is only the external wall, and there are no internal 30 centimeter walls. So I have to calculate this total length of this center line, total center line length of this 30 centimeter wall. So it will be 2 times this 6.5, right? 2 times 6.5, meaning this wall and this wall. Okay, coming from here to here. So this 2 times, and this 8.7 2 times. Okay, this 8.7 from here till here, and this here till here, and this wall 8.7. So it will be 2 times 6.5 plus 2 times 8.7. Okay, so we have calculated the total center line length of my 30 centimeter wall. We are done with 30 centimeter wall. Now we have to look into 20 centimeter partition walls. After 30 centimeter wall external wall calculation, now we have to look into 20 centimeter wall, that is your partition walls. So let us just look into, I hope you have your sketch. Just let me know whether you have your sketch with you. You can just raise your hand. How many of you have the sketch with you? Because I have to scroll up and down every time when I have to explain, right? So it will be difficult. How many of you have the sketch with you, so that I will explain it and you can watch, you can look into your sketch which you have drawn. How many of you have the sketch? Just let me know how many of you have the sketch with you. How many of you? Only 4, 5. 5 of you out of 22. 6, 5. I can see only 5 hands have been raised. So what about others? Others do not have the sketch with them, because it will be difficult for me to scroll up every time and explain. So if you had the sketch with you, it would have been easier for you to understand also and me to explain. Only 4 to 5 of them have the sketch with them. Okay, you can lower your hand. You can lower your hand. So I'll try to just scroll up and down because it will be difficult. So now see the wall between kitchen and rear veranda. Wall between kitchen and rear veranda. That length we have to calculate. So wall between kitchen and my rear veranda. This is my rear veranda and this is my kitchen. So this is the wall that we are talking about. This wall. Okay. So this wall we need to find the length, center to center length of this wall. So it will be 0.3 by 2 plus this length, that is 2.3 plus 0.2 by 2, right? So this is 20 centimeter wall, right? So it is 0.2 by 2. So it will be from here to here. So it will be 0.3 by 2 plus 2.3 plus 0.2 by 2. So that is what we have done here, and that length is 2.55. Okay, so coming to wall between rear veranda and water closet or your bath. So we are talking about this wall, rear veranda and water closet and bath. So this wall. So it will be the same length, right? It will be the same length. That is what is the length of this wall. So it will be 2.55 itself. Same thing, same thing. Next is your wall between water closet and your bath. So we are talking about this wall. So it will be 0.3 by 2 over here plus 1.5 plus 0.2 by 2. Okay, so this is 20 centimeter wall, so it will be half of that. So 0.2 by 2 plus 1.5 plus 0.3 by 2. So it is this thing, that is 0.1.75. So we have calculated that. So next, wall of kitchen, rear veranda, bath, bed and living. So wall of kitchen, rear veranda, bath, bed and living. Wall of kitchen, rear veranda, bath and living. So we are talking about this wall. Okay, we are talking about this wall. So from here to here, center to center length will be how much? It will be nothing but 6.5 itself, right? It will be 6.5 only. Okay, so that wall is 6.5. Here we have mentioned that 6.5. Next, coming to your wall between bedroom and veranda, bedroom and veranda. So this is your bedroom and this is your veranda. So this is the wall which are talking about. So the center to center length will be what? So it will be 0.3 by 2. Here 0.3 by 2 plus 3.6 plus 3.6 plus 3.6 plus 3, sorry, plus 3 plus 0.2 by 2 plus 0.2 by 2 plus 3 plus 0.3 by 2. So that will be about 3.25. Okay, 3.25. Now the last wall which is left is this wall, right? So this is the wall which is left, coming from here going up to here, right, up to here. So it will be how much? It will be how much? So it will be half of wall thickness here, that is 0.3 by 2 plus 5.2 plus 5.2 plus 0.2 by 2. Okay, plus 0.2 by 2. So we are done with all the walls. We are done with these external walls and we are done with the center line calculation of the internal walls also. So we have covered all the walls. So that distance was 5.45, right? That wall length was 5.45, and adding up all of this, adding up all of this, my total center line length of my 20 centimeter wall that I have mentioned as CL1. Okay, so CL is for 30 centimeter wall, CL is for 30 centimeter wall, and CL1 is for center line length, total center line length of 20 centimeter wall, which is 22.05 meters, 22.05 meters. Okay, so we have next thing that we have to look into is the number of junctions. Okay, number of junctions. So this is a line diagram or your line type of plan of your regular of the residential building that we are concerned with. So center line diagram showing number of junctions. So we have to calculate the number of junctions. So first junction is, there are various types of junctions depending on the number of walls, different number of walls. So we have two different number of walls over in our plan, right? We have two different numbers. That is, one is 30 centimeter wall and one is 20 centimeter wall. So first type of junction is 30 centimeter to 30 centimeter wall. So we have to look into how many number of junctions are such that 30 centimeter wall is getting into 30 centimeter wall. So let us just look into the plan. Okay, so if you look into your plan, you will see that there is no such junction. There is no such junction. There is no junction of 30 centimeter wall by 30 centimeter wall. You can see this is my external wall is my 30 centimeter wall, right? So there are no 30 centimeter walls joining with any other 30 centimeter wall. There is no T type of junctions, T type of junctions of 30 centimeter wall. So it is written as nil. So nil. So your first type of junctions, that is your 30 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. We have to look for T type junctions, okay, T type of junctions. So you can see in your plan that there is no T type of junction forming between 30 and 30 centimeter wall. We have only edges, right? This is your corner, this is corner, this is not a junction, this is also a corner. You can tell me that this is a T junction, but this is not the 30 centimeter wall. This is a 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. So we are concerned only about 30 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. So there are no such type of junctions. So we have written it as nil. Okay, understood. So next type of junction is 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. So you can just observe in this plan. Okay, so all my internal walls, all my these internal walls or my partition walls are 30 cent or my 20 centimeters walls, right? So all of these are 20 centimeter walls, and the external wall, this external wall is 30 centimeter wall. So let us just count how many number of T junctions are formed by 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. So this is a 20 centimeter wall, right, getting into my 30 centimeter wall. So this is my 30 centimeter wall, and this is a 20 centimeter wall which is getting into the 30 centimeter wall. So this is a T, this is forming a T type of junction. So this is my first junction. This is also 30 centimeter wall, and a 20 centimeter wall is getting into 30 centimeter wall. So this is forming a T junction. So this is my second junction, number 2. This is my number 3. This is number 4. Okay, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Okay, so how many number of T junctions by 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall? We have 7 numbers. Okay, we have 7 numbers. So we will name it as N1. N1. Okay, N1. If there were any T junctions formed here, so we would have named it as N1 here. But since it is 0, we will not consider this. We will only consider these two junctions. Okay, so we will name the first type of junction, that is 20 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall, as N1, and N1 is equals to 7 in number. Now next, 20 centimeter wall getting into 20 centimeter wall. So let us just look how many numbers are how many junctions are there. So this is one junction, right, T junction, wherein this is a 20 centimeter wall, and a 20 centimeter wall is coming and joining your 20 centimeter wall. So this is a partition wall, this is also a partition wall. So a T junction is formed. So this is one first junction. This is, you can see a T junction is formed, second number. This is your third number. This is your fourth T junction, and this is your fifth one. So all of these are named as 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, and 5 dash, just to differentiate between the different type of junctions. Okay, so you can see there are 5 number of junctions. Okay, 5 number of 20 centimeter wall getting into 20 centimeter wall, and we name it as N2, and they are 5 in number. Okay, N2, and they are 5 in number. So I hope the number of junction calculation is clear. So this is the main part wherein your students make mistake, right? Wherein they make a mistake while calculating the number of junctions, or whether they make mistake while calculating this center line lengths. Okay, center line lengths. So be careful while doing these steps. This is the first step, right? First step. This is your second step for 20 centimeter wall, and your third step is your calculation of junctions, number of junctions. So if you go wrong in these first 3 steps, if you go wrong, your entire problem which you will be solving using these values, right? Using these values, you will be solving your entire problem, your entire numerical. So if you go wrong in the first 3 steps, your entire numerical will be wrong, and you will be losing all your marks. Okay, so be careful while solving this first 3 steps. So you have to do it very carefully. You have to do it carefully, and you have to do it correctly. So okay, so next, moving on to your tabular column. Moving on to your tabular column. So if anyone has any doubts in any of the 3 steps which I have done, you can ask now, or else we will move on to the next. We will now move on to the next tabular column and calculation of quantities. Okay, so what we'll do is we will move on to the calculation of quantities. So you can see the plan is scrolling up to the plan and then explaining and then going down will be difficult for me. So what I told is you to keep the sketch ready with you. So I think in this class I will do that, but from the next class, I hope that everyone will keep the sketch ready with them so that it will be easy for me to explain and you to understand. Okay, so earthwork in excavation, right? We have to calculate separately for 30 centimeter wall and for 20 centimeter wall. Separately, we have to calculate. Okay, so always number will be one in center line method. Number will be one whether you are calculating for 30 centimeter or 20 centimeter. Your numbers will be one always in your center line method. So coming to your length. So for length, we have to use the formula, right? We have to use the formula for calculation of length. So the formula you can see here, it is this formula. So from the center line length, right, CL, what we have to do is we have to reduce, this N1, NB, N into B by 2. So since we have two types of walls and two types of junctions, so what we will be doing is we have to N1, we have to separately minus both of them. That is from the center line length CL1, we have to reduce N1 B1 by 2 minus N2 B2 by 2. We have to use this. Okay, and this is only used for 20 centimeter wall calculation and not for 30 centimeter wall length calculation. Okay, so why do we not use this formula for 30 centimeter wall? So you can see that we have directly here substituted length as 30.4, right, which is the center line length of my 30 centimeter main wall. Okay, so you can see 30.4, we have not deducted any of the junctions and we have directly calculated it. We have substituted it as 30.4, right? So why is this? Because there are no 30 to 30 centimeter wall junctions, because there is no 30 to 30 centimeter wall junctions. It is only going to your periphery, right? It is going to your periphery and there are no junctions with your 30 centimeter wall getting into 30 centimeter wall. That is why we directly use the total center line length, that is 30.4, and we do not have to deduct any junction, any width of their junctions. Okay, so because it is a running periphery and not getting internally, yeah, and there are no internal 30 centimeter walls, all of them are partition walls of 20 centimeter. So because of this, we need not deduct any junctions and any width from your center line length. So 30.4 is my total center line length of my 30 centimeter wall. So that is what we will substitute here, because it is running up, as a periphery and there are no junctions. So width of my excavation is 0.8. You can see in a figure it is 0.8, and the depth of my excavation from my ground level to my foundation level is 1 meters. So multiplying number into L into B into D, I get my quantity in meter cube. It is 24.23. Okay, so coming to your 20 centimeter wall, we have to calculate the length using this formula. So the total center line length CL1 which we had calculated is 22.05. So from 22.05 I have to deduct my first junction, that is N1. You can see N1 is 7 in number, so 7 into width is 0.8, right? So width is 0.8, so it is 0.8 by 2 minus the second junction, that is 5 in number, so it is N2 minus 5 into B2. B2 is also same here, width is same, 0.8 by 2. So 22.05 minus 7 into 0.8 by 2 minus 5 into 0.8 by 2. The total length of my 20 centimeter wall in excavation is 17.25. So 17.25 into 0.8 into 1, I get my quantity in excavation required for 20 centimeter wall. Okay, so why is B1 equal to B2? They have given a note here, you can read. So why is it B1 here, B1 equal to B2? Because the foundation of 20 centimeter wall and the foundation of 30 centimeter wall are same. Okay, even though the thickness of the wall is different, right? The partition walls and the external walls, the thicknesses are different, but the foundation that they have given, right here, you can see the foundation which they have given here, they are same for both the 20 centimeter wall as well as the 30 centimeter wall. So because of this, B1 is equal to B2. Remember this. If they had different foundations, if they had different foundations, we had to use their respective widths. Okay. So this is how you calculate the earthwork in excavation. Next, coming to your PCC bed concrete. PCC bed concrete. The width will be same for a PCC bed concrete, right? 0.8, 0.8. You can see same, but the thickness here, the thickness in your earthwork in excavation was 1 meter, right? That is your depth of excavation. But your PCC bed concrete here is 0.2 meter in thickness. So that we are done. Next, for 30 centimeter wall, I told you, because there are no junctions, we can use directly the value that is the total center line length. So it is 30.4. So coming to 20 centimeter wall, because the width is same, 0.8, this calculation will be same. Okay, so this calculation will be same, and the answer that you get here is the same answer that you need to substitute here. So it will be 17.25. You can see it is same, 17.25, 17.25. Width is same in both excavation and in PCC bed, but the thickness will be varying. So multiplying number into L into B into D, I get my quantities in meter cube. Okay, so summation of these two is my total PCC bed concrete in meter cube. So after this, the next thing that we have to look into is size stone masonry. Size stone masonry in cement mortar 1:6. So in the section, let me just scroll up. In the section, you can see it is in 2 steps. So this is 1 step up to ground level, and from the ground level up to plinth level. So from ground level to plinth level, it is called the basement work. Okay, basement work, and this is my foundation work. Okay, so I'll just explain. This is 0.5 meter in width, and the height is 0.8 meters. Okay, you can just observe it is 0.5 meter in width and 0.8 meters in height, and this is 0.4 meter in width, and the height is 0.55 minus this 0.5, that is your DPC thickness. Okay, so it will be around 0.4. So width is 0.4 and height is 0.4 in your second step, or that is called your basement. Okay, so let us just substitute those values here. So we have to calculate separately for 30 centimeter wall and separately for 20 centimeter wall. So first is your foundation for foundation below your ground level, that is below your ground level. I have told you the width is 0.5 and the height is 0.8, right? Height is 0.8, width is 0.5, and the length for 30 centimeter wall, directly we substitute, that is 30.4. No deductions, okay, for 30 centimeter wall. Coming to your 20 centimeter wall, the foundation is same for 20 centimeter wall as well, right? So the width will be 0.5, same as the 30 centimeter wall, and the depth will also be same, that is 0.8. Now coming to your length calculation, we have to substitute in that formula for length calculation. So it will be CL1, that is 22.05 minus N1 is 7, into B1 by 2, that is B1 is 0.5. You can see the width is 0.5. So width we have to substitute 0.5 by 2 minus N2. N2 is 5 in number. N2 is 5 in number. Mine into B2 by 2 into B2 by 2. Here B1 is equals to B2 in all the cases. So 0.5, 0.5, same value we have to substitute for B1 and B2. So this is 9.05 meters, which I'll substitute here, and after I multiply a number into L into B into D, I get these quantities. So next, for basement, I've told you from above the ground level going up to plinth level is called the basement. So for that, 30 centimeter wall and for 20 centimeter wall separately we have to calculate. So I've shown you in the section the width was 0.4 and the height was also 0.4. So it will be same for 30 centimeter wall, and for 20 centimeter wall it will be same, because the section is same for both 20 centimeter wall as well as 30 centimeter wall. So coming to your length calculation, you can I have told you that there is no junctions, and hence there will be no deductions. So we will write 30.4 as it is for your 30 centimeter wall. And coming for your 20 centimeter wall, you have to calculate it using that formula. So 22.05 minus 7 into 0.4, which is a width over here. So 0.4 by 2 minus 5 into 0.4 by 2. So you get the length as 19.65, which we substitute here, and then multiplying number into length into breadth into depth, we get the quantities in meter cube. So summation of all of this will give me the total size stone masonry work required, right, in cement mortar 1:6, that is 27.78. So in meter cube, okay, in meter cube. So this is for the third step, that is calculation of size stone masonry in cement mortar 1:6. Next, coming to your plinth concrete. So we have some plinth concrete which is placed or your DPC work, right? So that DPC work, let me just scroll up and let me just show you what I mean by that. So this is my DPC work. You can see this is my DPC work, and the width is 0.4 and the thickness is 15 centimeters or 0.15. So the thickness is 0.15 and the width is 0.4. So this is my DPC or my plinth concrete. So that is what we will calculate here. So plinth concrete 1:2:4 for 30 centimeter wall length, directly as it is we have substituted. I've shown you the width, it is 0.4 for both the 20 centimeter and 30 centimeter wall, and the thickness I've shown you, it is 15 centimeters. So 30.4 is directly substituted, and this is 19.65. That is the same calculation that we have done here, because the width is same, the value which we get will be same. So we substitute that and we multiply, and we get the quantity of plinth concrete in 1:2:4, that is 3 meter cube. Okay, so that is plinth concrete. Next, we have what we have done is we have done our quantities calculation in our earthwork in excavation. The first thing that we did was our calculation of earthwork in excavation. So how much of excavation work is required, what is the volume of earthwork excavation that is required, we have calculated, that is 38.12 meter cube, right? 38.12 meter cube is the volume of soil that we need to remove, right? So that is the earthwork in excavation. So next, what we need to do, we have to backfill the whatever we have excavated, right? We constructed our size stone masonry, and the remaining volume that is left out, or the gap that is left out, what we have to do, we have to backfill it, right? We have to fill it back with soil. So how do we do that? So for that, what we assume is, we assume that the quantity is 1/5 of the excavation quantity. Remember this. So the quantity of backfilling or the earth filling that is required in foundation trenches, okay? So in foundation trenches, whatever we have to backfill, we assume it as 1/5 of the excavation quantity. So our excavation quantity I've shown you was 38.12, right? 38.12. So 38.12 divided by 5 will give us the quantity of backfilling, that is 7.62. That is what we have written here. So this is also in meter cube, okay? So this is also in meter cube. I hope that you have understood this. Next, coming for your earthwork in for plinth work, okay? Earthwork that we have to fill, or the soil that we have to fill in your plinth. Let me just scroll up and show you by what I mean by foundation earthwork filling in your plinth. So you can see here they have shown this earthwork filling that they have mentioned here. So from ground level up to my plinth level, I have to fill. So this is my filling that is required by soil. So this is my earth filling that is required. So how much is that? 0.55 meter in height, right? 0.55 meter in height. That is the height of my earthwork in filling. And the area which I have to fill, is the entire area, right? Entire area I have to fill, entire built up area which I have planned, right? So that entire area I have to fill with my earthwork. So I have to calculate the entire area, and the thickness I have known, thickness is known, that is 0.55. So let us just look into how we calculate the areas, okay? How we calculate the areas. So I've told you for plinth, I've shown you. So we have to calculate for each of the room area separately: living room, kitchen room, rear veranda, water closet, bath, bedroom, and veranda. So these are my rooms for my building, and I have to calculate the areas separately for each of these rooms. And I've told you the height. You can see the height is 0.55 everywhere. 0.55 is the height that I need to fill. Okay, so this is same everywhere, but I need to calculate the areas of each of these rooms. So how do I calculate the areas? They have mentioned it here. You can see area is equals to center to center distance minus 0.4 by 2 minus 0.4 by 2. So why is this minus 0.4 by 2 and minus 0.4 by 2? So center to center distance minus half of 0.4 by 2 minus half of 0.4. So why is this 0.4? Because you can see the thickness over here, that the earth filling we have to do this earth filling, and we have a center line or a center to center length calculated from here, right? So this is our center to center length which we calculate for each of the room, right? So it is from the center. So what I have to do, I have to reduce this half of this 0.4 by 2, right? So this is half of 0.4, that is 0.2, and this is 0.2, and we have to calculate the earthwork in filling from here, going up to next this section, going up to your end of your room, right? So the one more section will be here, right? Like this, same you have a foundation work here. So this is your center line. So I have to reduce 0.4 by 2 here, 0.4 by 2 here, okay? And that is how I will get my that is how I get my length, okay? Length of my room, length of my room, one length of my room. So this is why we have to this is my center to center length, like this is my center to center length from here to here. So from center to center length I have to reduce this 0.4 by 2 and this 0.4 by 2 over here. So that is why we are doing our calculation, that is a center to center length minus 0.4 by 2 minus 0.4 by 2, which they have shown in your calculation part. Okay. So this is center to center distance minus 0.4 by 2 minus 0.4 by 2. So coming to your first, so number will always be 1 everywhere in your center line method. Okay, it will be 1. So coming to your length calculation. So for living room, let us just look into how they have calculated for living room. For living room, yeah, you can see that the living room is 3 meters by 5.2 meters. Okay, 3 meters by 5.2 meters. So that is in distance. So center to center, we need center to center distance. We have calculated the center to center distance while calculating the 20 centimeter wall length, right? So we will just refer that. So 3.25. So you can see it is 3.25 here. You can see 3.25. That is what we are calculating. This length we are calculating, center to center length. So this length we have calculated already in your previous calculation part, that is here. You can see wall between bedroom and veranda, So it is nothing but this thing. This is also 3 meters in width. So this is also 3 meters in width, right? So if you this calculation what we have done will be applied to this also same. So let us just calculate. So this is a center to center length we are calculating. So it will be 0.3 by 2 plus 3 plus 0.2 by 2. So it will come up to 3.25. Okay, 3.25. And we need to calculate this length also, center to center length from here to here. Okay, from here to here. Okay, so that is the wall between bedroom and your living room, right? Bedroom, veranda, and living room. So let us just look into bedroom, veranda, and living. So this is the wall which we are talking about, right? So this is the wall which you are talking about, and this is your center to center length. Okay, so this is your length and this is your width. Okay, the length and your breadth. So which we will substitute here, right? This is your length, right? The length L, and this is your breadth. I told you 5.45. So from this we will reduce 0.4 by 2, 0.4 by 2, and I will get 2.85 as the length which I substituted here, and 5.45 minus 0.4 by 2 minus 0.4 by 2. The length that I get, the breadth that I get of my living room is 5.05, which I substitute here. So depth I told you is 0.55 everywhere, right? The depth is 0.55. So when I multiply number into length into breadth into depth, I get this calculated length in calculated volume in meter cube, right? Earthwork volume in meter cube for my living room. Similarly for kitchen, let me just explain it for kitchen also. So coming to kitchen, let me just scroll up. So this kitchen is over here. Okay, kitchen is over here. So I need the length, that is center to center length, the here till starting from here to here. So it will be 0.3 by 2 plus 1.8 plus 0.2 by 2, and I need this length. So this is breadth B right? Breadth B, so center to center length will be 0.3 by 2 plus 2.3 plus 0.2 by 2. So let me just calculate and let me just show you what the value will be, what the value will be. So it will be length of the kitchen will be 0.15 plus 1.8 plus 0.1, right? 0.2 by 2, it will be 0.1. So it is coming up to 2.05. So 2.05 is what I have to write here. 2.05 length calculation. So 2.05 minus 0.2 minus 0.2. So it will be 1.65. So that I have written here 1.65. Okay. So coming to your width calculation or your breadth calculation. So it will be starting from top, it will be 0.15 plus 2.3, that is into in distance, plus 0.1. Okay, so it has come up to 2.55. So this length from here to here, center line length is 2.55. So calculation part, let me just show you. So I have to calculate the breadth, right? So it is 2.55 minus 0.2 minus 0.2 that I have calculated this thing. Okay, so it is coming up to 2.15, right? That is what I have substituted here, and the depth I have told you is 0.55. So when I multiply all these values, I get this value, that is in meter cube. Similarly, for all of this, that is my rear veranda, for my water closet, for my bath, bedroom and veranda, I have to calculate as I've told you, using the similar steps. By using the similar method that I have shown you, you have to calculate all of this and you have to substitute, and then you can calculate your total earthwork in filling. Okay, earthwork in filling for your plinth. So summation of all of this will give me the earthwork in plinth for filling, earthwork in plinth for earthwork in filling for plinth. Okay, so this is how you calculate your earthwork in filling. So it is first thing in earthwork in filling is for your foundation, and second part for your earthwork in filling is your for plinth work. Okay, so the total earthwork will be addition of this thing and your addition of this thing, 7.62 plus 29.9. So adding both of these values will give you your total earthwork in filling that is required in meter cube, okay, not in meter square or meter, but in meter cube. So I hope that is clear. Then after that we will move on to brick masonry and cement mortar. So once we are done with earthwork in filling and your foundation, next we have to calculate the brickwork in mortar. Brick masonry in cement mortar 1:6. So for 30 centimeter wall and 20 centimeter wall, we have to calculate them separately. So for 30 centimeter wall, number will always be 1 for both of them, right? 1. And we have one more wall, right? We have one more wall, that is parapet wall, right? Parapet wall. We will see how we calculate the length, breadth and depth for parapet wall also. So for 30 centimeter wall, I've told you that no deductions are required. So directly 30.4 we will write, and the thickness of wall is 0.3 and the floor to floor height is 3.5. Okay, so multiplying all these values, we get the quantity 31.92. So coming to your 20 centimeter wall, So your 20 centimeter wall, length of 20 centimeter wall, B1 is 30 centimeter and B2 is 20 centimeter. That you have to mention here, because your wall thicknesses are different. Your foundations were same. While calculating your size stone masonry, we have substituted B1 is equals to P2 because your foundations for both the walls were same. But coming to your brick masonry, right? Brick masonry, your B1 and B2 are different because it is a 30 centimeter wall and B2 is a 20 centimeter wall. So we will use B1 as 0.3 and we will use B2 as 0.2. Okay. So coming for a calculation. So for your length calculation, total centerline length is CL1, which is 22.05 minus N1. N1 is 7 into B1 is 0.3 by 2 minus N2 is 5 into B2 is 0.2 by 2. So substituting all those values, we will get the length as 20.5. So that is what we have substituted here. Okay. So thickness is 0.2 and the floor to floor height is 3.5, and multiplying a number into length, into breadth, into depth, we get the quantity as 14.35. So this is clear, this is very easy, so understand and remember this step wherein B1 and B2 are different. Okay, remember this, do not make a mistake while calculating this. Do not use B1 is equals to B2, which we have done in calculation of Systone masonry. Okay, so coming to your parapet wall, you can see that parapet wall we have to calculate separately. And not by using the same center line length for 20 centimeter wall and 30 centimeter wall which we have used. That will not be applicable. We have to calculate them separately. So coming to this thing, 31.2, how we have arrived at 30.12. So you can see this is your outside wall, parapet wall, that is 30 centimeter wall, that is sorry, 10 centimeter wall, right, 0.1 meter. So you can see this is your parapet wall, and only it is provided circumferentially, right? It is provided at the periphery, and not at the internally, not at your inside, right? So it is provided above your roof, and it is provided at your periphery. So this is your L1, right? This is your L1 and this is your L2, right? We can see it is mentioned here, small L1 and small L2. So this length L1 we have to calculate from out to out. Okay, from out to out we have to calculate. Out to out we need to calculate. So let us just look into your plan. Let me just scroll up. So this is 6.5, right? So out to out we need to calculate here. This is center to center is 6.5. To calculate out to out, that is from here to here, we need how can we do that? We can simply add your wall thickness over here and our wall thickness, half of my wall thickness here. So it will be 6.5 plus 0.15 plus 0.15. That is, let me just calculate, 6.5 plus 0.3, that is equal to 6.8, right? 6.8. So out to out length is 6.8. In this this is your L1. Okay, L1. So what about L2? L2 will be calculated similarly. You have to add your half of your wall thickness here and half of your wall thickness here, and you will get your out to out distance, that is your L2, out to out distance, that is L2. So it will be 8.7 plus 0.3. So it will be 9 meters. Okay, 9 meters. L2 is 9 meters. So let me just scroll down. So L1 is 6.8, right? L1 is 6.8 minus, so L1 is not out to out distance, it is center to center of your parapet wall. It is center to center of your parapet wall. So out to out is 6.8, right? Out to out is 6.8. I've shown you how I have calculated L1 6.8 minus your wall thickness, that is parapet wall thickness, that is 0.1 on each side, right? On each side you have to reduce. So 0.1 by 2 on one side of your parapet wall, and then suppose this is a parapet wall, so this is half of that 0.1 by 2. Then your out to out, one side you deduct, and other side also 0.1 by 2, that is half of that you deduct, and you get the center to center length. Okay, center to center length with respect to your parapet wall, So 6.8 is out to out minus this value, that is 0.1 by 2, and minus 0.121 by 2. I get my center line length of my parapet wall, that is 6.7. Similarly, 9 meters I have shown you, that is out to out is 9 meters. So removing half of my wall thickness on one side and half of my wall thickness on other side, I get my L2. So this is my L2, which is from center to center, from here to here. This is L2, and this is L1, from here to here, center to center. So that is required for my calculation. So total center line length of my parapet wall, I am drawing here. So this is what is my total center line length of my parapet wall, so which will be equal to 2 into L1 plus 2 into L2. Similarly, what we have done for our 30 centimeter wall, same method we are using. So it is 2 into L1 plus 2 into L2. So that is equal to 31.2 meters. So that is what I have substituted here, 31.2. And the thickness of the parapet wall is 10 centimeters, that is 0.1. And the height of my parapet wall is 0.75. Height of my parapet wall is 0.75 meters. So multiplying all of this, I get my brick masonry work of all of this. So 30 centimeter wall we have done. we have calculated 20 centimeter wall, and we have calculated also for parapet wall. So adding all of these three brickwork values, we get the total quantity of brickwork, that is 48.61 meter cube. Okay, so when we calculated the brickwork, we need to do our deductions, right? We need to do deductions for openings. We have many openings in our plan, we can see, and we have to do all the deductions for those. So coming to deductions for doors, opening doors, windows, and ventilators, right? For our 30 centimeter wall, for our 30 centimeter wall, we will calculate for separately for 30 centimeter and separately for 20 centimeter, right? Because the because your calculation is separate, right? Here and here, that from that we will deduct separately for 30 centimeter, and for 20 centimeter separately we will do, and not combined. Okay, so for 30 centimeter wall, how many doors are there in 30 centimeter wall? Doors are only 2 in number. You can see in your plan, doors are only 2 in number, and the size of my doors, they are 0.9 meter in width, and the thickness is the wall thickness itself, and the height of my door is 2.1. So multiplying 2 into L into B into D, I get the quantity of deduction of brickwork for doors in 30 centimeter wall. Okay, so coming to windows, in 30 centimeter wall, how many windows are there in 30 centimeter wall? 5 number of windows are there in 30 centimeter wall. You can just look into your plan. There are 5 number of windows in 30 centimeter wall. So the size of my window is 1 meter in length, 1.2 meter in height, and 0.3 meter in thickness. So multiplying all these values, I get the quantity of deduction for windows in 30 centimeter wall. Next, coming to ventilator in 30 centimeter wall. Ventilator in 30 centimeter wall are 3 in number. Okay, are 3 in number, and the size of ventilator they have given is 0.9 meter in width, 0.6 meter in height, and this is the wall thickness itself. So multiplying those values, we get the quantity of deduction required for ventilators in 30 centimeter wall. Now coming to 20 centimeter wall. So you can calculate, you can see the number of doors, that is D, in your 20 centimeter wall. Let me just scroll up, and let us just count. Okay, so these are my 20 centimeter wall. All of these internal walls are 20 centimeter wall, and let us just see how many doors are there, in your 20 centimeter walls. So this is one door in your 20 centimeter wall. This is your second door in 20 centimeter wall, third door in 20 centimeter wall, fourth, and your fifth. So D number of doors are 5 in number. Let us just calculate how many D1 number of doors are there. So D1 number of doors are 1 and 2. Okay, and they are in your 20 centimeter wall, so they are 2 in number. So D is 5 in number, D1 is 2 in number. So that is what they have substituted here. Okay, so you can see 5 in number, D, and 2 for D1, and the sizes we have multiplied here. Thicknesses you can use as 0.2, which is your wall thickness, and the sizes which they have mentioned, length and the height. This is length and this is height. So multiplying, we get the quantities in 20 centimeter wall. So after we deduct for openings, we have to deduct for lintels. Okay, we have to deduct for lintel, and we have been told that lintel is all around lintel. It is running throughout, right? Like this, it is running throughout your 30 centimeter wall. So we have to calculate that total length. So 1 in number, right? And the length of my center line for my 30 centimeter wall is 30.4, and no deductions are required in this. And the thickness of my 30 centimeter wall is that is what we have substituted here. And the depth of my lintel is 0.15 depth. That is, if this is your lintel, right, this is the thickness of the lintel, 0.15. So that is your 0.15. So multiplying this, I get the quantity of all around lintel, or all around lintel. So coming to lintel over internal walls. So internal walls, we do not have continuous lintel or all around lintel for internal walls. That is only for 30 centimeter wall. Coming for lintels over internal walls. So you can see it is same, that is 5 and 2, which we had seen, right? 5 number of doors D, and 2 number of doors D1. Okay, so thickness is 0.2, right, and the depth is 0.15. That is, this 0.15 is the depth of my lintel. If this is the lintel, then this is the 0.15. So there will be some amount of bearing, right? This is the opening. This is the bearing that we provide of 15 centimeters on either side. So that is that we have to add to your to your opening length. So for door D, right, it is 0.9 meter in length. So 0.9 plus 0.15 plus 0.15, it will be 0.1, 0.1.2 meter. Okay, 1.2 meter. So that is what is your length of your lintel. So coming for your door D1, so the length of my door D1, this is 0.75 into in 0.75 plus 0.15 plus 0.15. So it will be 1.05 on 1.05. So multiplying all of these values, I get my quantities in meter cube. So from my total brickwork masonry, that is 40.61, I have to deduct 7.523. So I will get the net quantity of brickwork required, that is 41.09 after all the deductions. So I hope brickwork is clear. I hope brickwork is clear. And if you have any doubt in any of the thing that I have explained until now, you can ask. If you have any doubt of anything that I have explained up till now, you can ask. You can type in chat, or you can just unmute and you can ask. So Manju is asking, why do we need to consider only T type of junctions? So Manju is asking, why do we need to consider only T type of junctions? Why we need to consider only T type of junctions? Because you can just, I will just go to this plan, right? Okay, so let me just zoom in. Okay, so why T type of junctions? Because if this is not considered to be a junction, right? This is not a junction, right? This is not a junction. So this is a corner wherein we need not deduct anything. So coming to T type, this is a T type junction, right? And whenever there is a T type of junctions, we need to deduct some quantity of whatever we are calculating. So this is your suppose this is your earthwork in excavation which you are doing. So this is the width of earthwork in excavation which we have done. So this is already done, right, for this wall. So whenever we are calculating for this wall, for this wall, we will go up to this level, right? We will go up to this level. So what this part is already excavated. This part is already excavated, right? When we are doing excavation for this wall. So this part was already excavated. So no need to take into account this part when we are considering for this wall, excavation for this wall. So what we do is we deduct this width. We deduct this width, which is half of my total width. Half of my total width. So that is why we need to you consider T type of junctions. Okay, T type of junctions. And if there are any other type of junctions, we will have to appropriately calculate for those kinds also. So usually what happens is in your plans we will come across T type of junctions only T type of junctions. And whenever we have a regular type of plan like this, we will come across T type. And if you have irregular type of plan wherein we have yes, inclined type of walls like this, and this is new type of junctions which is formed over here. So this is a complicated type of junction. So whenever we have a regular plan like this, we will come across only T type of junctions and no other type of junctions we will come across. So that is why we will consider only T type of junctions. And C is not a junction, right? This is forming a C. So the or a L, right? L. So this is not a junction. This is not a junction. And whenever it forms a T, it is called a junction. Okay. So that is why we consider T type of junctions. Any other doubts, if you have, you can ask in chat, right? And you can ask in chat, or you can unmute and ask. And if not, I will continue with the next part. I will continue with the next part. So this is a very lengthy problem. This is a very lengthy problem which will not, I think it will not get over in 2 hours. So because I am explaining, it is going slow, but if this kind of problem comes in exam, you have to solve it within half an hour. Within half an hour, you have to solve this problem. So I hope nobody has any doubts, and if you have any other doubts, you can always ask after the class is over, right? Nothing such as you have to ask it while I'm explaining. You can ask it anytime after the class also. So coming to your next part of calculation. So we are done with brickwork, and now we will move on to RCC work. RCC work. We will move on to RCC. So you are calculating this for the first time, I think. So we will go slow. So RCC work 1:2:4. So RCC work in roof slab. Okay. So we have to do calculation of RCC work in roof slab. So roof slab is given overall, right? So roof slab is given overall, and this is my built up area, right? The hatched area you can see, which is hatched. So this is my built up area, and this is an offset which is provided. This is an open area. There is no slab required here. You can just look into your plan, and this thing is open, and this which they have hatched, which they have marked, this part is your built up area, and this is your entire slab. Okay, so we need to calculate the total area. So considering this total thing as a, right, the total area as A. So this total area which I'm marking, considering this as capital A, and the hatched area is A2, and this open area is A1. So capital A will be equal to A1 plus A2, right? So and your A2 will be equal to what? A2 will be equal to total area A minus this opening, minus this opening. So that is what we have written here. So A2 will be equal to total area A minus A1. Okay, so I have shown you the out to out distance. Out to out distance was how much? 6.8, right? It was 6.8, and the out to out distance in this direction, that is your breadth, was how much? 9 meters, right? It was 9 meters. So 6.8 into 9 meters will give me the total area A. That is the total area of this rectangle, total area. Now coming to this A1, right? Coming to this A1. So this distance we need to calculate, and this distance we need to calculate. So let me just scroll up to the plan, and I'll tell you how we can calculate that. So this is my area A1 which I'm mentioning. So this is my area A1. Okay, this is my area A1. So coming to plan. So let me just zoom out. Okay, so this is my plan, and this is the area which I'm talking about. This is the open area A1 which we are talking about. So the this area we need to deduct. This part of area we need to deduct. Okay, so this area we need to deduct. So what we need to do is we need to calculate this length and this breadth. Okay, so we need to calculate this. Okay, so how can we calculate this open area length and breadth? This is the length and this is the breadth. We need to calculate. So what we can do is we know the out to out distance, that is from here, right? From here to here it is 9 meters, right? It is 9 meters. And what we can do is we can calculate the out to out from here, from here to here. We can calculate. So that we can calculate how much. Let me just calculate it for you. Starting from top, right? I'll start from here. I'll calculate the out to out distance. So it is 0.3, which is my wall thickness, plus the width of my kitchen. That is 2.3. That is 2.3 plus the internal wall, which you can see is 0.2, plus the living room breadth, that is 5.2, plus the wall thickness, external wall thickness, that is 0.3. So it is coming up to 8.3. So the distance will be what now? It will be this out to out distance 9 meters minus this out to out distance, which is 8.3. So 9 minus 8.3, I get it as 0.7. So this distance is 0.7. So this breadth of this opening is 0.7. Now,
Sir, voice is low again, sir.
okay, just a minute. Okay, I hope I am audible now. So out to out distance, I was talking about out to out distance. So This is outdoor distance I've shown you. From here to here it was 9 meters. Okay, from here to here it was 9 meters. Remember, okay, it is 9 meters. From here to here it is 9 meters. So I will calculate the outdoor distance from here to here, okay, to this wall. Okay, I will calculate, so that after I minus from 9 meters this outdoor distance, I will get this distance. From here to here I will get this distance. So let me just calculate. It is 0.3, that is this wall thickness, plus this length, this kitchen width, that is 2.3, plus 0.2, plus living room width, that is 5.2, plus 0.3, that is this wall thickness. So it will come up to 8.3. So it will come up to 8.3, that is from here, this point to this point, out to out I'm talking about. So 8.3. So 9 meters minus this 8.3 will give me this distance, that is 0.7. Okay, 0.7. Now I need this distance. So how can I calculate? So it will be this 0.3, right? 0.3 plus this living room distance. Okay, plus this living room distance. So it will be up to here. So it will be 0.3 plus 3 meters, plus 3 meters. So it is 3.3. So this distance is 3.3. So I hope this is clear. So 0.7 and 3.3, remember. So that is what we have calculated here. So 3.3 and 0.7. Okay, so we have calculated the A1. So it will come up to 2.31 square meters. So now calculation of A2. How do we calculate this hatched area A2? So total area A which you have calculated, that is 61.2, minus this A1 will leave me with A2. So minus 2.31, 61.2 minus 2.31 will give me the area of A2, that is 58.89. So now calculating the quantity of roof slab, Q is equals to this area, right? Area into slab thickness, area is 58.89 and the slab thickness is 0.1, right? So this is in cubic meters. 5.889 cubic meters is the volume of my roof slab, RCC work in roof slab. Now coming to RCC lintel, we have done calculation for roof slab. Now we will do calculation for RCC lintel. So the lintel calculation is same, right, which we have done here, right? Lintel calculation, all around lintel, you can see it is 1.37, same calculation. Then for your RCC lintel calculation. Okay, so we are done with RCC lintel calculation. Next for RCC chhajja. Now this is a tricky one. RCC chhajja is a bit tricky to understand. So let me just explain it how you have to do. So RCC chhajja over doors. Okay, over doors. First we have to calculate RCC chhajja over doors. So how many number of doors? And RCC chhajja is provided where? RCC chhajja is provided only for doors, for external doors, right? External doors. No need to provide chhajja for your internal doors. No, common sense, right? So doors chhajja, you can see it is shown here, right? So chhajja is provided for external doors. So they are 2 in number, one over here and one over here. So 2 in number, and the door size you can see here 0.2 and 2.1. So considering some amount of bearing, that is 15 centimeter bearing on each side. Okay, so 15 centimeter bearing considering on each side, the length will be 1.2, 2 in number. I've shown you 2 in number, and the this is your projection, that is if this is your RCC chhajja, let me just draw. So this distance is 0.6, that is your projection. This is 0.6, and this is your lintel over here. Lintel will be there. So this thickness is 0.15 and this thickness is 0.1. Okay, so starting from 0.15, it is tapering off and it is becoming 0.1. So let me just show you one more. Here you can see clearly, you can see the chhajja. right? So this is 0.15, this thickness is 0.15, and it slowly tapers off and becomes 0.1 meters at the other end, 0.1 meter in thickness at the other end. So this length is how much? This length is how much? This length is 0.6 meters. Okay, so 0.6 meters, and the thickness, what we assume is we take average of both the values. So we take 0.15 plus 0.1 divided by 2, and that is what we take the average thickness. Okay, we will take the average thickness. So that is what we will do. Okay, so 0.125 will be the average thickness. Okay, 0.125, that is 0.15 plus 0.1 divided by 2. So I have told you how to calculate the thickness. This is the projection length, and this is the length of my door plus the bearings, 2 bearings. Okay, so multiplying all these values, I get the quantity in meter cube. Next, for windows. Okay, for windows, so just look into a plan and tell me how many windows you have. You have 5 number of external windows. We have 5 number of external windows, and this is your length, that is the size of my window, plus 2 bearings, that is plus 0.15 plus 0.15. So it will come up to 1.2, and this is the projection length, that is 0.6, and this is the average thickness, that is 0.12. Quantities for doors and windows. The total quantity of RCC Chhajja is 8.132. Okay, 8.132. So this is all about your RCC work. Okay, RCC work consists of your roof slab, your RCC lintel, and RCC Chhajja. Okay, so these 3 quantities we have calculated. So next, coming after RCC work, what you have to do is you have to calculate your steel reinforcement. The quantity of steel reinforcement that is required in your RCC work. So your steel reinforcement is assumed to be 1.5% of your RCC work. Okay, it is assumed to be 1.5%. So normally we can assume from 1% to 3% of RCC volume of residential building. For residential building, we can assume 1 to 3% of my RCC volume work. Okay, so what we will do is we will assume 1.5. So quantity of steel reinforcement required, Q is equals to, so this is 1.5 divided by 100 because it was in percentage. So 1.5 divided by 100 into your quantity of RCC work. So quantity of RCC work is how much? 8.132, right? 8.132. So 8.132 into your density of your steel, that is in kg per meter cube. So this is in meter cube, and this is in meter cube. This is in kg per meter cube. So your this will cancel out, right? What will cancel out? Meter cube and meter cube will cancel out, and you will be left with kgs. So 657 kilos of steel is required, right? 957 kilos of steel is required. So that we will write in terms of metric tons. Okay, we will write in terms of metric tons. What we do is we divide this by 1000. So that will give you the quantity of steel in metric tons. Okay, in metric tons. So that is your unit of measurement for steel. You always measure your unit of you always measure steel in metric tons. Okay, metric tons. So whatever value you get in kgs, you divide it by 1000. So 0.957 metric tons of steel is required for my RCC work. So this is how you calculate steel reinforcement. Now coming to your next part. So coming to your next part, it is weatherproof course. So weatherproof course is provided over your roof. Okay, it is provided over your roof. So it is the same. So the area will be the same area. What is your roof area minus your parapet area, right? You have to reduce your parapet area from your roof area. So we had calculated the total roof area, right? We had calculated the total roof area, that was 58.89 total roof area, which was A2, right? A2 we had calculated. So that was how much? That was 58.89. So from this area, what we need to reduce is we need to reduce our parapet wall area, right? So no need to provide this weatherproof course in your parapet wall area, right? So parapet wall area we need to reduce. So a length of the parapet wall area we had calculated, it was 31.2, right? So 31.2 into your parapet thickness. Parapet thickness is 10 centimeters, right? 10 centimeters. So it is 0.1. So length into your thickness will give us the area, right? It will give you the area of a parapet wall. So that we reduce from our total area of my roof. So I will get the area required for weatherproof course. So that is 55.77 in square meters, So we have calculated the weatherproof course area. Next, coming to cement plastering. So this is very important and this is very confusing. Coming to your cement plastering, right? We have to plaster our walls now. We have to plaster our walls. We have to plaster our.
Sir, enough, sir.
Okay, so some of you are saying enough. So just raise your hands who think that it is enough for today. Just we can have a vote. Because cement plastering is difficult to understand. It will take time. You can raise your hand. You can raise your hands. Just raise your hands and let me know whether you have understood all the things and so that we can stop over here. We can have a vote. So 1, 2 have one. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Almost 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13 out of 17 are saying that they have enough, and but we still have time. We still have time. What can we do until 12:30? What can we do until 12:30? Just let me know. So how many of you have raised hand? Almost everyone has raised their hands. Almost everyone has raised their hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can lower your hand now. You can lower your hand now. But we are still halfway around the problem. Let me just scroll down and show you how much is still left. Let me just scroll down. So this is your cement plastering work we have to calculate for your external walls. Okay, for external plastering and then for your internal plastering. Okay, so cement plastering is to be done for your walls now. So it has to be done for your walls, your 30 centimeter wall, then your 20 centimeter wall, and then also for your parapet walls. Okay, so for your parapet walls also your external plastering has to be done. So external plastering for your 30 centimeter wall and for a parapet wall, then internal plastering for your 20 centimeter walls. So we have to calculate internal plastering quantities. So these are all for your internal plastering. So after that, what we have to do, after we do that, we have to do deductions, right? We have to calculate deductions because of our openings, our doors, windows, and our ventilators. We have to deduct that, not that much amount of plastering we have to deduct. So that we have to do. Then after that, what we have to do is for painting, right? External wall painting, we have to calculate external wall painting. Then after you calculate for external wall painting, we have to deduct for doors, windows, and ventilators. So after your external wall painting, we have to calculate quantity of internal wall painting, right? Internal wall painting. And after that, we have to look into our deductions for doors, windows, and ventilators. Okay, so we are done with plastering. Then we are done with painting. Okay, we are done with painting. So after that, what we have to do, we have to look into enamel painting specifically for doors, windows, and ventilators. We have to do enamel painting for your doors, windows, and ventilators. So that kind of quantity we have to calculate. So after that, we have to calculate the mosaic tile flooring quantities, right? Mosaic tile floor quantities. This is easy. This part is easy. Tile flooring quantity which we have to calculate. Then after all of that is done, so this is your part 1 of your detailed estimate. So after we finish up with this thing, we are done with the part 1 of our detailed estimate. Our part 1 of our detailed estimate deals with what? Deals with only calculating our quantities. deals with only calculating our quantities. So we are done with calculating all the quantities of items of works that we have been asked. Okay, so in detail we will learn how we calculate all those things. So after we are done with part 1, we have to look into part 2. That is, part 2 of your detailed estimate is calculating the abstract or preparation of your abstract of your work, abstract of your work. So this includes what? Writing down your item of work and the quantity and the unit, right? Unit of measurement. Then we need to apply our rates per, if this is for earthwork in excavation, it is in cubic meters. So your rate in per cubic meter, right? Rate per cubic meter. So coming to your an example of your weatherproof course. So a weatherproof course is measured in square meters. So your rate will be in per square meters. Okay. So what we do is, after writing down all the rates, we multiply quantity with our rates and we get the amount. Okay. So multiplying quantity with our rate, we get our amounts. So a summation of all the amounts will be our total. Okay. Summation of all the amounts will be our total. So what you have to do in our total, we need to add 3% for contingencies and we need to add 2% for our work charge establishment. So after we add these two values, our grand total is what is our cost for our single room residential building. So how much it is coming? It is coming almost around 6,34,000. Okay, 6,34,000 is the total cost of our building that we are going to construct. So this is how you prepare an abstract of an estimate. So after you calculate this total grand total, this is your final answer. So all of this you have to do in almost less than 30 minutes. Okay, so almost less than 30 minutes. So we have taken 2 hours and we have calculated only 50% of the work. Okay, we have calculated only 50%. We have to still do the cement plastering of your internal walls, external walls, and then we have to look into your external wall painting, internal wall painting, and then we have to look into mosaic tile flooring. So all of this work is remaining. What we will do is we will look this into your next class. We will look into this in your next class. So what you can do is you can start typing your attendance. You can start typing in your attendance, but do not leave the class after typing in your attendance. Do not leave the session after typing in your attendance. You can quickly start typing in your attendance. And until you type in your attendance, if anyone has any doubts, you can just ask. You can just unmute and you can ask. If you have any kind of doubts or if you have anything to say, you can ask and you can say. Until then, your others can type in your attendance quickly.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, this PDF group na solution.
Yes. I will share all of these PDFs in the group once I am done with the example. Once I am done with this example, I will definitely share this PDF with you so that you can practice. Okay. So I hope everyone has typed in their attendance. I hope everyone has typed their attendance. Quickly type in your attendance. Do not leave the session. I am saying, do not leave the session after you type in your attendance. So this numerical is a very lengthy one, right? In this, we are calculating all the item of works, right? All the item of works we are calculating. So this numerical is for your understanding. Usually this kind of numerical will not be asked in our exam. Okay, so if this is asked, not all of these quantities will be asked to calculate, right? Some of the quantities will be asked and not all the quantities which we are looking into today, right? So this numerical is for your understanding, so that you understand how it is done for your entire building, entire works and entire building. So this kind of work, like numerical, if asked, it will not be for all of these quantities. Only I think only 5 to 6 quantities will be asked. Okay, and not all of this entire thing will be asked. Okay, so all of this you have to do in less than say 20 minutes or 15 minutes. You have to prepare your first part of your estimate, that is calculate your quantities, and also prepare an abstract. Also prepare an abstract of your estimate. Okay, so I hope everyone has typed in their attendance.